let's just put it this way. It started prior to this one started prior to Shida
Are
Queen.
you
And
serious?
then I had a little gig with the microphone, but
Yeah.
it didn't make it any better.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So yeah,
Oh wow. See, this man just works and works and works. He does. But thank you so very much for being a part of this show, dude. I am grateful, grateful for you. Now, I want to say a good morning and an amazing hello to my friends at Massey's, who the store. This store is located in Rodney Heights, if I'm not mistaken. Rodney Heights. Thank you so very much for being so kind and so loving, and you know who you are. Forgive me for forgetting your name. I knew I should have wrote it down. Thank you, my manager that just does it and does it so very well. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you, and to the beautiful people of Courts who made it right with my treadmill. I told you I was going to be singing your praises. So thank you so very much. If this is your very first time showing up for this show, I'll tell you what this show is about. The show is about motivating you, it's about encouraging you, it's about making sure you understand just how great you are. You really are great. You are invincible. You are more than an overcomer. And you were created with divine purpose. That's what the show is about. Seriously. The foundation of the show is real easy. Kingdom principles is what I believe, been believing it since I was reintroduced to this kingdom mandate. And when you think about a kingdom, I want you to think about the governing influence of an authority of a king over a territory, impacting it with his, well, my mind just slipped. His culture, his way of doing things, his morals. Okay. A kingdom is a real country. It really, really is. And it reflects the king's lifestyle. Yeah, yeah, I'm getting it together. I swear to you, I am. When you think about a principle, I want you to think about the original intent of something, and at what we're talking about right now is the statutes and commands and laws that govern your life. See, these principles, they have keys that are associated with them, and those keys give us access. It really does. So you and I and we have access. Here's what you can expect from the show. I will never, ever, ever give you my opinion. My opinion does not matter. You did not come here for my opinion. You did not. However, you can expect honesty, openness, and sincerity. Absolutely, you can. See, I want you to grow with actionable goals. If you are launching your business and you're just kind of, new at this thing, then come, because business empowerment is what we do on this show. I've been singing about this GoFundMe campaign that I have going on, and I'm excited. I'm excited because we are doing some things with it. So if you're interested in supporting, right, this mission that I believe the amazing people in Ancillary have an opportunity to grow and to blossom and to get some assistance, then you know what? Why don't you give? Stop by www.drtanjishow.com and just see what's on there, and toggle over to the campaign that's going on. And every gift that you give is 100% attributed to Ancillary. It is. Now, coming up on the show today, we've got a kingdom principle that it's really, I believe, is one of the principles that will move you from where you are to where you really want to be and where you desire to be. And it's simply entitled, God is Still in Control. You just got to keep showing up. I need you to stay tuned. We'll be right back. On a mission to help you rediscover God's purpose for your life. And she does this by teaching you how to change your perspectives according to His original plan for you. If you are experiencing bouts of failure or an inability
to do things right. She is here to assist you in ending those thoughts that can indeed lead to a depressing mindset. She calls you to emulate the processes a full scale mind shift requires by replacing religious ideologies and traditions that oftentimes create a sense of struggle. Dr. Taji provides you with much needed insight, encouragement, and motivation to not only assist you in rediscovering your dreams, but she systematically shows you how to no longer chase them and how to manifest them. Dr. Toji is the Caribbean's very own inspirational and motivational speaker, our life and spiritual coach, and someone who delivers hope, encourages our faith, and showcases that we must live a life that is. His words are merciful. He still works miracles in us.
I love that song. I always lose myself. All right, let's get started. How many times, how many times have you found yourself praying for someone or some circumstance in your life to change? And it seemed, right? It seemed like it would never come to pass. See, the more you prayed, the more you consecrated your life, the more you went in your prayer closet, that secret place where we meet God. It seemed like it would never come to pass. But no worries, because this morning I've come to give you some good news, and I'm so serious about it. See, God is still in control. He is. You just got to keep showing up. Your change really has come. Hmm. I can remember so vividly when I was a child. Oh, I love these childhood stories. Follow along, if you will. I remember seeing my beautiful mother being the example of what it meant to be a good mother. See, my Annie, and that's what I called her. Can you imagine a 5-year-old calling you by your first name? Ouch. I can remember this incredible woman. I've seen this woman take the little that she has and lift it up to God, and miracles happen. Real talk. See, there was a particular instance when my Annie was believing God that she could move into her home. See, we lived in government projects, and they were known as Yorkville projects. If you are familiar in Columbus, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? This is where I didn't know that we didn't have a real big house. I kid you not, because she made it feel like a home. She really did. And see, my mom, Addie, desired to see her children wake up in their own bedrooms. And I remember her calling up this realtor, Mr. Hilbert Williams. God bless his soul. He's transitioned on now. And I remember her saying that, I believe that it's time for me to move and get a home. And this was the first time that I've seen her. And I'm sure that she had other instances in her life, but this was the first time that I actually saw her do what she did, right? So Hilbert showed Annie some really good homes. He did. And he would show her homes in town and out of town, and I remember going with her one particular time, and this particular neighborhood wasn't, it was kind of sketchy. And I remember her saying, "No, this ain't gonna work for my babies." Selah. So he took her to this particular house, and she walked in and she could feel like, yeah, this is home. See, I didn't know at the time that there were people speaking against this very move that my mom was believing God for. Hmm. Selah. See, she had made up her mind that she didn't want to be dependent on the government. She wanted to be dependent upon God. Isn't it something when you finally make up your mind that you're going to believe God for the impossible and it looked impossible, right? That you got folk that are secretly hoping that it don't come to pass. Oh, but God. See, I didn't know that Annie had already prepared herself for the move. She was putting money back in a little savings account. And I think I was maybe 14 at the time. And she placed my name on the savings account. Didn't know that one day she'd be calling me up, telling me, go down to the bank and get this money. And so we're going to get ready to move. I can only imagine the courage and the boldness that it took. My mom, man, raising two kids by herself, doing an amazing job. And she still is to this day an amazing woman. But here's what I've learned: God is still in control. Every situation, every circumstance, even where you may be right now, He's still in control. See, you play a role in seeing what you've never seen before. And that role is simply showing up. You got to keep showing up no matter what. All right? And here's a side note. No matter what they say, and I often ask this question, who is they anyway? And what business do they have being in your business? Oh, Dr. Tanji, my dear friends and family. Our Constitution declares that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell in it. See, that's Psalms 24:1 for my Bible scholars. Everything, every circumstance, every situation, He's in it. And what I've learned in my relationship with Him is God really does take care of His own. And I know you can agree with that one, right? See, when you acknowledge that He is still in control, you are serving notice to everything and everyone that He is Lord. And lordship means owner, that you trust Him, that you belong to Him, that you will keep showing up no matter what. I get it. Life really Life can get real hard, man. It can. And it can feel like it's dealing you a hand, right? That makes you feel like you want to throw in the towel. And whew, someone said, well, how do you know? Because I have experience in that arena. There have been times in my life where I did everything right. Real talk. I prayed, check. I fasted, check. I forgave, check, check. I planned, check. And I shouted, of course, check, 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 check. But you get my drift. And it appeared the more I did these things, the more it looked like God was not going to intervene or change where I was. But as one of my mentors and spiritual mothers would say to me, and she still does, you just keep showing up, baby. He hadn't forgotten, nor is he late. You just keep showing up. Whew, yes, Lord. So I want you to repeat after me. Yeah, man, you too. With your beautiful raspy voice. He's probably saying, oh, my voice. Yeah, that's what gonna make it good, good. You ready? All right, you ready? Repeat after me, Miss Faye Carr, who's watching my Facebook Live. You ready? God is in control.
God is in control.
Ooh, my. I will keep showing up.
I will keep showing up.
Even with a voice like that, he showed up. How about that? We'll say it one more time, right? For those who didn't get it. Come on, TikTok, YouTube. God is in control.
God is in control.
I will keep showing up.
I will keep showing up.
Don't you feel good by saying that? Don't you really? Now, you know how we do it, right? I've got 3 keys. All right, Miss Faye, don't you make me take off my shoes. I've got 3 keys that I know will help you with this particular principle because they are helping me. I wouldn't lie to you. Key number 1, be intentional. Seriously. You're being action oriented with an unshakable faith and determination to begin, to keep going, to finish strong is your responsibility, not God's. But remember, you must make up your mind that you will finish what you start, no matter what, especially when you know it's a God thing. Key number 2. Develop an intimacy with God where before you tell your best friend what's on your mind and in your heart, your feelings, you tell God first. After all, He already knows. But it's part of the relationship that He fosters with you. It's perfectly all right for you to be a daddy's girl or a daddy's boy. How about that? And key number three, as you keep showing up, remind yourself of this. The power that is at work in me is greater than what I see. Speak well of our God. Speak what is written. Okay, like promises like, but the Lord is faithful and He will strengthen you and protect you from the evil one. 2 Thessalonians 3:3 from my scholars. Things like, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Psalm 23:1. Come to me, all ye who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Whew, and I could go on and on about these promises. In closing, we were never meant to live alone. We were never meant to live alone. God provides, He does. He provides us with everything that is needful in this life. He sends beautiful friends to encourage you. Good morning, Tori Powell. To walk with you. Hello, Wanda Turner. To pray for you when you can't seem to pray for yourself. Thank you, Johnny McAdoo. Trust Him. Rely more on Him than you do yourself. Be about His business. And this is one thing I know for sure. He will be about yours. And that really is the truth, Ruth. 450-5477 if you're on aisle and want to make a contribution. And if you're like my dear friend Maggie, who uses her thumbs, 758-450-5477 is the WhatsApp number. So while you get ready to call in or chime in like Miss Faye Carr is doing, I got to ask my dear friend, has there ever been a time when you felt like God is not in control of this one? Yeah. I won't butcher you. I promise you I will not. You have.
Yeah, I have. Hence,
Yeah.
back in the day,
Come on.
I used to, have all my. I think I mentioned this already.
Yeah.
My doubts.
Come on.
I thought,
I know.
forget it.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So I've been. That's lives.
Yeah, man. But you kept showing up, yeah?
Yes.
That's the thing.
At the end of the day, you
Yeah.
look back and you think, but who do I turn to?
Come on. Come on.
Who do I turn to?
Who do I turn to?
Who's gonna help? Who's gonna be there?
Wow.
Not everybody's gonna be there for you.
No.
You might need, what you're going through, you might need 20 people for that.
For sure.
You can't get 20 people to be there.
Come on, man. Yeah, man.
You have that one reliable person. Sorry about my. I'm hearing this and it's like crazy.
You sound amazing, though. You really do, because you not discounting your being here, but you literally could have called in and said, you know what, I can't make it this morning because XYZ, and I am so grateful that you showed up, man. Wow. I love this guy. 758-450-5477 is the number that you can call and interact with us. And I'm excited by you'll keep showing up, man. Thank you for that. And I really do mean that, as people are listening and getting ready to do what they do with the show. I want you to know He really is in control. Yes, I know that, we're in this age where, we independent. I get that. I'm not. I'm so dependent on him. I need him for my next breath. I really, really, really do. And I don't take that for granted or lightly that he really is in control. No matter how many times I showed up crying, no matter how many times it was the 11th hour and I'm thinking, oh dear God, Daddy, where you at? He always shows himself strong. So while you keep showing up with faith, faith to move mountains, keep showing up. When doors have been closed in your face, keep showing up. When the bank tell you no, keep showing up. When the folk on the job act like they have lost their minds, you just keep showing up. And then remind yourself over and over, God, you still in control. God, you still in control. Because he really is. He's still in control. 450-5477. Let me hear from you, man.
I believe, sometimes when we have that, we have a conversation with ourselves.
For sure.
We speak to ourselves.
Yep.
We try to downplay the fact that we're really speaking to God, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you sit down there, you might try to make a decision.
Yep.
You go like, oh man, what am I going to do?
Yep.
I think I should really take this and do this.
Yep.
There. You're not really speaking with yourself.
Just speaking to him. Isn't that something? He's in control. Right. Yeah, man. How many times have I tried to get before him? Have I tried to go before him? Doesn't work. I find myself making mistake after mistake after mistake, and when all I had to do, seriously, man, is just go to my daddy, man. I don't have to be. Here's the thing, right? I don't have to be so strong in my strength because compared to his strength is much more than mine. I just got to go as I am. That's all he's asking. That's it. Just come as you are. I know I got plans for you that you haven't even thought about. Use your imagination and push through and block out the noise. There will always be somebody to tell you what you can't do. There will always be someone to tell you what you cannot do. So expect it, right? But when you have people like a Miss Tammy Ruth Pouchet, I blew it. Oh, how you doing, baby? She used to babysit me. And she would always tell me, Tanji, you can do anything you put your mind to. I believed it. And it wasn't predicated on my circumstances. It was predicated on my God. So I thank you, Miss Tammy. Thank you so much, man, for speaking life into a little girl that dreamed real big and still do to this day. Thank you, and I love you for that. 450-5477 is the number. God is still in control. You just got to keep showing up. How many times, right? How many times have you found yourself saying, I quit? If you knew how many times I have fired myself and then got back up the next day to get back and show up again and show up again. And sometimes I'd show up with tears in my eyes. Sometimes I'd show up with a negative bank account. Sometimes I'd show up on E. But I still had to show up. It's something, man, when you go telling folk, for God I live, for God I die, blessed be the name of the Lord. That's got to be tested for authenticity. It does. It just does. Anything, and I've learned this, right? Anything you do for him must be tested. And he's not testing you to persuade you or dissuade you. Don't do that. Because if he called you to do it, then he'll supply every need to get it done. I'll never forget. I believed God as a child. I believed that I could get baptized in the Jordan River. I really did. So I would go around. even as a little kid, man, just one day I'm going to be baptized in the Jordan. I think I was maybe 7 when I started saying that. Can you imagine 40 years later? A little bit over 40, because I just did it last year with my dear daughter. I believed him. I really believed that I could. And it was more than what I thought it would be. It was, man. It was, imagine if you will, right? Going into a country you've never been before, but you know the greater one had gone before you and made every crooked place straight. And there we were, standing on the bank of the Jordan River. And see, the Jordan, the actual Jordan where John baptized Jesus is really, it's dried up just about. It's not even a spring. It's a trickle. There we were, man, believing God and receiving, and everyone else that was like on the bus with us, because we had to take a bus, from Jordan into Israel. And everyone else on the bus looking at us like, that water's dirty, right? There's some parasites in the water, but honey, you couldn't tell me jack. I am going to get baptized in this river if it's the last thing I do. So I go into the restroom, the bathroom, right, that they had on site, and got in my white garb, and there I was, my daughter and I walking hand in hand, getting ready to do something that I had waited for so long to do. What you saying, Doc? If you're believing God for something, if you've set your face like a flint and said, I'm going to see it. I know I'm going to see it. I believe it. I receive it. Then stand. Stand on that thing and keep showing up. And see, I got crazy faith. I do, Miss Barbara, who's watching on Facebook Live. Thank you, my lovely. I got the kind of faith, man, that I just believe it. If it's written, I believe it. I'm like a kid when it comes to my daddy, because his promises are yes and amen. And now I pray that I don't want nothing that you don't want from me. I want what you want from me, Daddy. That's our prayer. And that's our show. Thank you so much. Thank you for being the best part of the show. Thank you for being in my life. Those who walk with me, those who talk about me, good things behind my back. Thank you so much. We're going to do this thing again called the Dr. Tanya Show. The Lord say the same and the creek don't rise. Now, I won't be on Friday, but I will make certain that you hear my voice. I'll be back in the chair, if he say the same, on Monday. I love you, I love you, I love you, and thank you for making my dreams come true. Until next time, mwah, bye.